Hi, thank you very much for being here. My name is Yiftach, and in my PhD, I study the adaptive function of shame and pride. So, there are many ways to view emotions. Here, we took the evolutionary view of emotion, according to which each emotion evolved through all sorts of selection pressure to solve a specific adaptive problem. Taking this logic to shame, it is assumed that shame evolved to prevent being negatively evaluated by other group members. So it is also assumed that shame induces concealment behaviors. Therefore, it is assumed that shame induces concealment behaviors with a specific aim of preventing social devaluation. Our aims in the current study were first to verify whether indeed shame induces concealment behaviors, and second, to examine the assumption that shame induces concealment behaviors specifically to prevent social devaluation. In addition, to learn about what is being concealed, we examined whether the mechanism of shame induces concealment behaviors that are restricted to the specific devaluating information, or rather, shame induces more general concealment behaviors. So, in our first experiment, we developed an experimental paradigm in which shame was elicited and followed by concealment. In the paradigm itself, shame was manipulated by providing participants with a fictitious low score to a short IQ test they just performed. Then, to examine concealment behaviors, we ask our participants if we can use their score and photo in another experiment. We told the participants that in the other experiment, we examined if people can indicate other people's intelligence by the look of their face. And after they saw a short demo of that other study, participants submitted their decision. We wanted to examine if shame induces concealment behaviors, and therefore we hypothesized that participants in the shame condition, those that received a low score, will deny us from exposing their score and photo more than participants that receive high or average scores. In the figures below, here below, we can see the results with the bars standing for each of the three conditions and the y-axis standing for the rates of concealment behaviors. As you can see in the left-hand bar, participants that received a low score performed concealment behaviors to a greater extent. And as you are able to see in our appended slides, participants in the shame condition also reported about experiencing more shame than did participants in the other two conditions. And they also reported about experiencing more shame than guilt and sadness. So after we validated the causal relationship between shame and concealment, in our second experiment, we examined the evolutionary assumption that shame induces concealment with a specific aim of protecting individuals' social value. In our second experiment, we examined if the relationship between shame and concealment is moderated by the relevance of the audience to the participants' group. Recall that in our experimental paradigm, concealment behavior is measured by participant decision to deny us from exposing their score and photo in another study. So, in experiment 2, in order to manipulate low social relevance, we told the participant that the other study, the one in which we will reveal their score and photo, will be conducted among an audience that is, that is of low relevance to their reference group. That is, we told them that the study will be conducted among elders or foreign students. So, as you can see, in the high relevance condition, we told our students participants that the study will be conducted among other fellow students, like we did in experiment 1. And in the figures here, the y-axis once again represents concealment behaviors, and our results support the function of shame in monitoring social value. As you can see, the relevance of the audience reduced the proportion of concealment behaviors among participants that receive low score. So, in our third experiment, we examined the degree to which shame instigates concealment behavior and whether these concealment behaviors are restricted to the specific information that might cause the evaluation, or alternatively, whether shame induces concealment behaviors that are more general tendency. We examined if shame induces general concealment, in other words, if shame concealment is generalized, by asking participants if we can expose only their photo in another study without the score. As we can see in the middle figure here, even when we told participants that only their photo will be exposed while their score will remain concealed, participants that received low score concealed more than did participants who did not receive low score. In experiment 3, we even went a step further to examine if concealment behaviors will be generalized from the context shame was elicited in to another context, in this case to a related context. But as you can see in the right-hand figure, in this case, concealment was not generalized following shame. So, in sum, our results support the function of shame in monitoring the social value of individuals. And in addition, it supported the assumption that shame induces concealment behaviors that are general rather than specific. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you at the conference. Bye-bye.